Stop scrolling for a second and really listen. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, and instead of your mind immediately racing with 100 different worries, endless notifications, and that heavy, overwhelming feeling that the entire day is already slipping out of your control, you open your eyes feeling calm, clear-headed, and completely grounded. Your focus feels sharp from the very first moment. What if you could actually create that kind of steady, unbreakable focus before the world even wakes up and starts making its endless demands on your time and attention? The ancient Stoics lived through chaos, political turmoil, personal losses, and constant uncertainty. Yet they managed to begin each day with remarkable mental strength and clarity. They didn't have smartphones constantly buzzing, overflowing to-do lists, or the kind of digital distractions that never seem to rest in our modern world. But their timeless wisdom still works incredibly well today, perhaps even better than ever. In the next 16 minutes or so, I'm going to share with you the exact 12 morning truths inspired by Stoic philosophy. These practical principles can help transform those scattered, exhausting mornings that so many of us experience into periods of calm clarity, steady focus, and real inner power. Stay with me all the way until the end, because truth number 7 quietly becomes a game changer for most people who feel constantly pulled in every direction by work, family, and technology. If even one of these truths truly resonates with you today, it has the potential to shift how you approach not just your mornings, but your entire life. Let's dive deep into these 12 truths, one by one. Truth 1. Awaken with deliberate intention. The very first moments after you open your eyes are incredibly powerful. Your mind is at its most malleable, like fresh clay ready to be shaped. Unfortunately, most people allow the day to hijack them right away. The phone lights up with messages, worries about work or family flood in, and before you know it, you're already feeling behind. The Stoics deeply understood this fragile first window of consciousness. Instead of letting external forces dictate their mindset, they chose to set their own direction intentionally. They recognized that how you greet the morning often determines the quality of the entire day that follows. Here is a simple practice you can begin tomorrow morning while you're still lying in bed. Before you reach for your phone or even sit up, take one slow, deep breath. Then quietly set a clear intention in your mind. Say to yourself something like, "Today, I will direct my attention toward what truly matters most. I will stay present and purposeful." This takes less than 10 seconds, yet that small, deliberate choice creates a powerful mental anchor. You shift from reactive mode, where you're constantly responding to whatever appears first, into proactive power. Distractions will still arrive throughout the day. They always do. But now you have something steady and intentional to return to again and again. This single act of awakening with deliberate intention can dramatically reduce that heavy, overwhelmed feeling many of us carry. It replaces chaos with a quiet sense of command. Over time, you'll notice your mornings feel less frantic and more centered, giving you a strong foundation for everything else. Truth 2. Protect your first hour as sacred time. Right after waking up, so many of us immediately surrender our freshest mental and emotional energy to checking emails, scrolling through news, or responding to messages. We hand over the most valuable part of the day without a second thought. The Stoics viewed the first hour after rising as sacred ground, a precious opportunity to build inner strength, clarity, and resilience before the external world begins making its many claims. They believed this protected time allowed the mind to settle naturally and prepare for meaningful action. Starting tomorrow, make a commitment to claim this first hour for yourself. Use it wisely. Engage in quiet reflection on your priorities. Do some light physical movement like stretching or a short walk. Journal a few thoughts, or simply sit in peaceful silence without any screens or devices. Picture the difference this could make. Instead of beginning your day already feeling drained, fragmented, and reactive, you give your mind the spaciousness it needs to organize itself. Your thoughts become clearer. Your energy remains protected and available for the things that matter most. This practice is not about isolating yourself from responsibilities or the people who depend on you. Quite the opposite. It equips you to show up as a more present, more patient, and more effective version of yourself for your work, your family, your relationships, and every other role you play. When you consistently protect this first hour, you send a clear message to yourself: my mental clarity and inner peace come first. That decision alone often leads to noticeably sharper choices, higher productivity, and a greater sense of calm that carries through the rest of the day. These first two truths together create the essential foundation for everything that follows. They teach us that real focus doesn't start when the workday begins. It starts in how we greet the new day and how we guard our initial energy. But we're only at the beginning. The next truths will help you release what no longer serves you and align your attention more powerfully. Truth 3. Release yesterday's burdens before stepping into today. How many times have you woken up carrying the emotional weight of unfinished conversations, missed opportunities, small failures, or lingering regrets from the previous day? That invisible mental baggage quietly drains your ability to focus without you even noticing it at first. The Stoics taught a liberating perspective. Each new day offers a genuine fresh beginning. Clinging tightly to what has already passed, whether successes or disappointments, only clouds our judgment and steals energy that belongs to the present moment. Here's a practical way to apply this truth. In those early quiet moments of the morning, take a minute to gently acknowledge whatever happened yesterday. Do so without harsh self-judgment or rumination, then consciously choose to let it go. You might say silently to yourself, that chapter is now closed. Today stands completely on its own merits. Feel the subtle but real lightness that comes with this release. Your mind suddenly has more open space. Old frustrations and disappointments stop leaking into your current thoughts and decisions. You step into the new day feeling clearer, lighter, and far more ready to give your full attention to what is actually happening right here and now. This simple act of release prevents yesterday from robbing today of its potential. It frees you to engage more fully with the opportunities and responsibilities in front of you. Truth 4. Align your attention with your highest values. Before the inevitable rush of deadlines, family responsibilities, and constant notifications starts pulling you in multiple directions at once, take a deliberate pause to reconnect with what you value most deeply in life. Ask yourself honest questions. What kind of person do I truly want to be today, in my work, in my relationships, and in the choices I make when no one is watching? What principles matter enough to guide my attention when competing demands arise? The Stoics placed tremendous importance on living according to core virtues and personal principles, rather than being constantly tossed around by whatever external pressures appeared. When you realign with your highest values early in the morning, you create a reliable internal compass that helps you navigate the day with greater direction. Suddenly, decision-making becomes easier. Vague goals transform into clear, directed energy. You stop scattering your precious attention across every little thing that feels urgent in the moment, and instead naturally gravitate toward what is genuinely important and meaningful to you. Practicing this alignment consistently builds a powerful sense of inner consistency. It dramatically reduces the mental friction and exhaustion that come from constantly switching between unrelated tasks or reacting to whatever demands the most immediate attention. Truth 5. Anticipate potential distractions with calm preparation. Rather than simply hoping the day will unfold smoothly without interruptions, the Stoics practiced a wise habit called premeditatio malorum, calmly looking ahead to possible challenges without allowing fear or anxiety to take over. In our fast-paced world, distractions come in countless forms: unexpected work requests, urgent emails or messages, family interruptions, sudden changes in plans, or the magnetic pull of social media and notifications. Take a calm, quiet moment during your morning to gently consider what might test your focus today. Then prepare your response in advance. For example, you might think, if my phone begins demanding attention repeatedly, I will choose to handle those matters only during the specific times I've scheduled for them. This kind of calm preparation removes much of the element of surprise that so often completely derails our concentration. It trains your mind to remain steady and composed when interruptions inevitably arise. What could have become chaotic moments instead turn into manageable situations you already feel equipped to handle. Over time, this practice builds a quiet but profound confidence, the inner knowledge that you can maintain your center and your focus even when the world tries its hardest to pull you away. Truth 6. Limit your focus to what is truly within your control. One of the quickest ways we lose our focus is by unconsciously spending valuable mental energy worrying about or trying to influence things that are ultimately outside our control, other people's opinions or behaviors, unexpected traffic or delays, outcomes that depend on many external factors, or events we simply cannot change. The Stoics drew an exceptionally clear and helpful distinction between what belongs to us, our own efforts, attitudes, choices and responses, and what does not. They advised focusing our energy only on the former. In your morning routine, take a few moments to mentally sort through the responsibilities and concerns of the coming day. Place each one into one of two categories: what is within my control and what is not. Then make a conscious decision to pour your time, attention and energy primarily into your own actions, mindset and efforts. The sense of relief is often immediate. Your concentration sharpens noticeably because you are no longer diluting it with futile worries or frustrations about things you cannot influence. Inner tension decreases, and you begin approaching your tasks with greater efficiency, deeper presence, and sustained motivation. When you turn this sorting process into a regular daily habit, your focus becomes not only sharper, but also far more sustainable over the long term. These first 6 truths work beautifully together. They help clear away mental clutter, protect and direct your energy, and prepare a strong inner foundation so you can face the day with greater steadiness. You now have the basics in place. But we're going deeper still. The next set of truths will help steady your emotions, create mental order, and sharpen your thinking even more effectively. Truth 7. Cultivate gratitude as a steady anchor for focus. In the busyness of everyday life, it's all too easy to wake up already fixated on problems, looming deadlines, potential difficulties, or everything that might possibly go wrong. A mind dominated by constant complaint or worry quickly loses its capacity to concentrate on what is productive, positive, and meaningful. The Stoics understood that gratitude is not about pretending challenges don't exist or ignoring difficulties. Instead, it is a deliberate practice of noticing and appreciating what is already working in our lives. Spend just 30 calm seconds each morning identifying one or two specific things you are genuinely thankful for. It could be something as fundamental as the ability to breathe freely and think clearly, the roof over your head, the support of family or friends, or simply the fresh opportunity this new day represents. Don't just list them. Truly feel the appreciation in your body and mind. This brief but sincere act has a remarkable way of calming the nervous system and creating a more stable mental and emotional foundation for the hours ahead. A mind rooted in gratitude becomes significantly less vulnerable to distraction because it is already grounded in a sense of sufficiency rather than constant scarcity. With regular practice, your attention begins to default more naturally toward opportunities and solutions instead of complaints or problems. Sustained focus starts to feel less like a constant battle and more like a natural state. Truth 8. Create mental stillness before action. Our modern brains are under near constant bombardment from the moment we wake up. Notifications, news updates, social media, and endless streams of information compete aggressively for every bit of our attention. The Stoics highly valued moments of inner quiet as essential preparation for clear, effective thinking. They understood that a scattered mind produces scattered results. Set aside even just 5 short minutes in your morning to sit quietly without reaching for any device, task, or distraction. Allow thoughts to arise and pass naturally without chasing them or judging them harshly. This gentle practice is not about achieving perfect emptiness. It is simply a way of gently ordering and settling the mind. In that stillness, fragmented ideas and worries tend to settle down on their own. What truly deserves your focus often rises more clearly to the surface. When you begin your day from a place of mental order and quiet rather than immediate chaos and overstimulation, your concentration becomes noticeably sharper and more resilient as the day progresses. Stillness functions much like clearing and organizing your workspace before beginning important creative or demanding work. It helps prevent the mental fog and exhaustion that can make focused effort feel so difficult later on. Truth 9. Seek brief wisdom to sharpen the mind. Before the noise and demands of the outside world begin filling your thoughts, intentionally feed your mind something timeless, steadying, and wise.
The Stoics regularly return to the writings and teachings of great thinkers not merely for entertainment or intellectual curiosity but to calibrate their own thinking and remind themselves of higher principles that could guide them through daily pressures. Each morning, take a few minutes to read or quietly recall one short, meaningful passage from a trusted source of wisdom, perhaps a reflection from Marcus Aurelius on resilience, a piece of advice from Seneca on self-control, or a teaching from Epictetus on what is truly up to us.
Reflect on it gently for a minute or two. Ask yourself honestly, how might this wisdom apply to the specific situations, challenges, or opportunities I may face today? This practice replaces reactive, often negative or trivial input with intentional, strengthening input. A mind that is regularly nourished with wisdom early in the day becomes far less easily swayed by passing distractions or superficial concerns. It grows better equipped to stay locked onto meaningful work and purposeful action. Over weeks and months, these small, consistent doses of insight accumulate and gradually build stronger, more disciplined patterns of thinking that serve you well in every area of life. Truth 10. Define your most important duties with clarity. It's surprisingly common to start the day with a long, overwhelming list of tasks and responsibilities, yet still feel fundamentally unfocused and directionless. This often happens because we haven't taken the time to clearly identify what truly matters most. The Stoics placed great emphasis on understanding and fulfilling our various roles in life, whether as professionals, parents, partners, friends, or community members, with full attention and care, rather than simply chasing busyness for its own sake. In your morning moments, look ahead at the day and ask yourself a focused question. Considering my key roles today, what is the one or perhaps two things that most deserve my best energy, attention, and effort? Write these priorities down clearly and simply. This short, powerful list then serves as your guide when competing demands and distractions inevitably appear. You avoid the draining feeling of treating every single item on your list as equally important. Instead, your energy flows more naturally and efficiently toward what counts most. The remaining tasks can often be handled with less internal pressure and greater calm. Clarity about your most important duties transforms vague good intentions into concrete directed action. These truths from 7 through 10 work together to strengthen and stabilize the inner foundation you have already established. Gratitude helps steady your emotions. Stillness brings order to your thoughts. Wisdom offers reliable direction, and clear duties provide meaningful purpose. At this point, you are remarkably well prepared for the day ahead. Truth 11. Remember the fleeting nature of time with quiet clarity. In the midst of our often hectic lives, it can be tempting to treat every new morning as just another routine start, assuming there will always be plenty more days stretching out endlessly into the future. Yet the Stoics maintained a sober but gentle awareness that time is finite and each day we are given is irreplaceable. They used this perspective not to create fear or unnecessary pressure, but as a quiet reminder to value the present moment and use our limited time wisely. During your morning practice, take a brief, calm moment to acknowledge this reality. This particular day will never come again. Then ask yourself a simple but profound question. Knowing that my time today is limited, where do I truly want to invest my attention and energy? This gentle awareness has a way of naturally cutting through many trivial distractions and minor irritations. When viewed against the backdrop of finite time, small frustrations often lose much of their power. What tends to emerge instead is a deeper sense of commitment and resolve to protect your focus and direct it toward the people, tasks, and values that matter most. Far from making the morning feel heavy or burdensome, this perspective usually makes the day feel richer and more meaningful. Truth 12. Move from reflection into disciplined action. All of the previous truths create valuable inner preparation and insight, but they would remain incomplete without the crucial step of turning that preparation into real-world movement. The Stoics were very clear on this point. True philosophy is not just something we think about or discuss. It must ultimately lead to consistent, disciplined action in our daily lives. Once you have moved through these morning truths, choose one specific, concrete step that your clearest and wisest self would take right away. It might be beginning work on your most important task for the day, starting a focused deep work session, or showing up fully and attentively for your very first responsibility, whether at home or in your career. Do not wait for waves of perfect motivation or ideal external conditions, which may never arrive. Instead, simply begin with steady, quiet discipline. This final truth serves as the bridge that connects your morning intentions and reflections with tangible results and progress. When you make a habit of moving into action after your preparation, focus gradually stops feeling like a daily struggle or something you have to force. It becomes a more natural and reliable part of who you are. Each small but consistent disciplined step builds real confidence and positive momentum that tends to carry forward and influence the entire rest of the day in powerful ways. Discipline practiced in the quiet of the morning quietly proves to you over and over again that you are fully capable of staying centered and locked in on what matters, no matter what the external world may bring. These 12 morning truths form a complete, interconnected system. They begin with setting a clear intention and protecting your early energy. They continue by helping you release what no longer serves you, align with your deepest values, prepare calmly for challenges, and focus only on what you can truly control. Then they steady your emotions through gratitude, create mental order through stillness, nourish your thinking with wisdom, clarify your duties, remind you of time's preciousness, and finally move you into purposeful action. When practiced with sincerity and consistency, even if you start small by choosing just 2 or 3 truths that feel most relevant right now, these principles have the power to transform scattered, draining mornings into reliable periods of calm, sharp focus, and inner strength. That shift sets a positive tone for everything else that follows in your day, your work, and your relationships. You do not need to purchase expensive tools, follow overly complicated routines, or wait for perfect life circumstances. All you truly need is the willingness to apply these simple yet profound truths sincerely each morning, before the demands of the day begin pulling at your attention. Countless individuals balancing demanding careers, active family lives, and the many pressures of modern living have shared that incorporating even a few of these Stoic-inspired practices brought noticeable improvements in mental clarity, daily productivity, emotional calm, and overall sense of control, often within just a few short weeks of consistent effort. The real key lies in starting modestly and remaining patient and steady with your practice over time. If even one, or perhaps several, of these 12 truths resonated with you today and subtly changed the way you think about your mornings, then you have already taken an important first step toward meaningful transformation. I encourage you to try implementing as many of these truths as feel natural for you starting tomorrow morning. Pay gentle attention to how your sense of focus shifts, how your energy feels steadier, and how your overall sense of control and presence grows. Small changes practiced daily often lead to surprisingly large results over time. Now I'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. Which one of these 12 morning truths are you most excited to commit to practicing first? And why does it matter to you personally? Sharing your thoughts and experiences here can inspire and encourage others in our community who are also working to build stronger focus, greater resilience, and more purposeful lives. If you found genuine value in today's exploration of Stoic wisdom applied to modern challenges, and you want more practical guidance like this delivered every week, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. We are committed to bringing you fresh, actionable insights rooted in timeless philosophy to help you navigate life with greater clarity, inner strength, and purpose. Thank you sincerely for spending this valuable time with me this morning. I appreciate you being here. Now, go forward into your day with intention and make it one filled with focused, meaningful action. Your best self, the calm, clear, and capable version of you, is ready to emerge more fully, one deliberate morning at a time. Subscribe to Stoic Origin. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take good care of yourself.